greatest African leaders of all time. Hi everyone, welcome back to another exciting video presented to you by The Footprint, and thanks for watching. What does it take to go down as a great African leader? Perhaps it requires determination and dedication. With huge power comes great responsibility. These African men and women had the high sense of responsibility mixed with heavy doses of self-sacrifice. These leaders were willing to put everything on a line to encounter the unknown change in Africa. Yes, join us as we take on a journey down the memory line to explore the 10 greatest African leaders of all time. Number 10. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. African first female head of state's name can never be omitted from this list. Sirleaf, commonly known as African Iron Lady, is the former Liberian president who fought hard from prison and exile and became an inspiration to so many young female politicians. By the way, she got a Nobel Peace Prize for laying a stable foundation for women to establish their future. Number 9. Kenneth Kaunda is a Zambian retired politician who became the country's first president from 1964 to 1991. As a teacher by profession, Kaunda gained a lot of political experience when he served as a foreign affairs interpreter and advisor in 1949. He worked under Sir Stewart Brown, who was the liberatory white colonist. Kaunda later joined the African National Congress and took top positions. He used peaceful protest and negotiation to secure independence for Zambia. Number 8. Jomo Kenyatta. His name is one of the biggest in the history of African politics. Jomo Kenyatta was an anti-colonial activist who rose to become the first president of Kenya. He was also the first Prime Minister of Kenya between 1963 to 1964. Kenyatta played a big role in ensuring that Kenya freed itself from colonial rule. He was the front-line politician in the Kenya National African Union, KANU. His ideologies are that of a nationalist and a conservative. Kenyatta also promoted peace between countries' ethnic groups. He was the one who registered Kenya with the African Union. Number 7. Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara is widely regarded as one of the African political heroes. He was a revolutionary who became Burkina Faso's president from 1983 to 1987. Thomas was a strong Pan-Africanist and a supporter of Marxism. He was generally viewed as the icon for revolution, and when he was 20 years, Thomas joined the army. He got trained in Madagascar in 1970. When he was there, he observed how students revolt against the Madagascan government. This experience changed his life forever. Thomas returned to the upper voltage in 1980. He went on to seize power in 1983. He went on to change the country's name from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. Sadly, Sankara's pursuit of growth, gender equality, and social justice came to an end in 1978. On October 15, 1978, Sankara was brutally assassinated at the age of 37 by his former friend in a military coup. Number 6. Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan's name cannot be skipped in any important list of African leaders. Even though he was not a mainstream politician, he was a world leader from Africa. Kofi Annan was a Ghanaian diplomat who led the United Nations (UN) as the 7th Secretary General from 1997 to 2006.
What unites us is much more important than what divides us. And we should really stress the positive rather than the negative.
When he was in charge of the UN, Kofi Annan tackled HIV pandemic in Africa. He worked to resolve a lot of conflicts in the world. He and the United Nations were awarded a Nobel Peace Prize in 2006. His post-UN Secretary General years were also very successful. He served as a special envoy and headed several organizations in countries such as Syria and Yemen. The Kofi Annan Foundation, a charity organization, is just one of the numerous legacy works that owes its existence to Annan. In the early hours of 18th August 2018, news of Annan's death broke out. The distinguished diplomat passed away at the age of 80. Annan will forever be engraved into our memories as a great leader who tirelessly fought for global peace and hunger eradication. Alright, number 5, Patrice Lumumba. Lumumba was a revolutionary Congo politician who helped the country to gain independence. He was the first Prime Minister of the Republic of Congo, now called DR Congo. He acquired Belgian citizenship and worked as the president of Congolese trade union. When he came back to Congo, Lumumba formed the Congolese national movement. Lumumba used the Pan-African ideologies to push for independence for his country. Congo gained its independence in January 1961, partly due to Lumumba's struggle. He gained a lot of public support for his excellent personality and good communication skills. Lumumba was assassinated at the age of 35 when the army embarked on a mutiny. Number 4, Julius Nyerere. Julius Nyerere is another unforgettable hero of African continent. He was the first president and the first prime minister of Tanzania, formerly Tanganyika. His rule as a statesman lasted between 1961 to 1985. As an intellectual who had master's degrees in economics and history, Nyerere was an African nationalist and a socialist. In 1953, Julius Nyerere co-founded the Tanganyika African National Union. As the president of Tanganyika African National Union, Nyerere piled a lot of pressure on Britain for self-rule and governance. His effort finally paid off on 9th December 1961 as Tanzania gained independence. Number 3.
Freedom. Africa wants a freedom. Africa must be free.
Kwame Nkrumah is a highly respected Ghanaian politician who led the country in 1957, formerly Gold Coast, gained independence from country's colonial masters, Britain. One can conclude that he was the founder of Ghana without being too wrong. Nkrumah was the first president and prime minister of Ghana. He was a Pan-Africanist who co-founded the African Union, formerly the Organization of African Union. Nkrumah returned to Gold Coast after studying abroad for 12 years. He became a revolutionary who got arrested for causing political riots. His tenure as president saw massive developmental projects across the length and extent of Ghana. Nkrumah's legacy in Ghana and even beyond is supreme. Number 2, Haile Selassie, also known as Rastafari Makonnen, was an Ethiopian ruler and emperor from 1916 to 1974. Undoubtedly, Haile was one of the biggest sons of Africa whose name can never be erased from history. Even at a young age, Haile showed promising intellectual capacity. Haile eventually became the emperor of Ethiopia upon the death of his father-in-law. During his reign, several schools were constructed, social justice fell, and the security forces of the state were strengthened. Haile uses huge influence on the continent to push for a more united Africa. He went on to build an extensive network of connections with African communities in diaspora as well as other Caribbean islands. Up to this day, some circles within those communities, particularly the Rastafari communities, offer regard to him as the restored Messiah. Number 1, Nelson Mandela.
Our major weapon of struggle against apartheid oppression and exploitation.
Nelson Mandela was Africa's finest citizen and statesman. He was a South African president from 1994 to 1999. He fought against the apartheid political system in the country. As South Africa's first black president, his government tackled key racial system that segregated and tore apart the country's diverse races. Mandela was a revolutionary who got imprisoned on several counts for his activism. When he was released after 27 years behind bars, his African National Congress Party won the 1994 general election. Mandela forgave all his enemies and created a reconciliation commission chaired by former Anglican Archbishop Desmond Tutu to probe past human rights violations. He won a Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 for his peace-loving life and the various projects and work he advocated for to end the brutal decades of apartheid in South Africa. The one thing that sets the above leaders apart was their persistent pursuit of progress and peace on the continent. In spite of numerous challenges that they faced, they always placed themselves at the front of development issues and prosperity in Africa. The numerous footsteps that Africa made in terms of gender equality, social justice, can firmly be attributed to these 10 great minds above. There you have it. Who is your greatest African leader of all time? Share with us in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video.